Hi guys, so this is my CSA number 3 for 2019. In reality, it's CSA number, I think 5 for that farm. But anyway, because I get it by every other week. So it's my third haul. Look at all the greens. They got some really cool stuff. It's so awesome seeing the CSA farm come out with such a different varieties of these plants and greens and vegetables that we eat that you don't find in supermarkets. And that's why I love the CSA so much. Plus they're organic. And you pretty much get it fresh from the farm, like picked that morning or maybe the day before. They get all these workers to help out. A lot of them are interns and stuff like that. And it's just beautiful green stuff. During the rest of the week, or they also provide for restaurants. So, but, you have us CSA members buying a share of the farm, and they only will sell to a certain amount of families, so that also helps with their budget, and we get back. So, I mean, it's just awesome. And the cats love it too. So, lots of kale this time. I actually took all the different kales. This is collards. Not a kale, but they had collard greens. Sometimes the collard greens are even big and leafier. But like I said, there was a farmer last year in the fall when I told them I don't like the braised collard greens that they make down here in the South. It's okay, but that's the only way that I've ever seen them cooked. I chop them up, saute them in the pan with the Holy Quartet, the olive oil, garlic, and salt and pepper, and then they add nutritional yeast. And it's so good. I eat it on sides of dinners, or I actually eat it for breakfast, as you would see. As you would see in one of the previous videos, I think it was CSA number 2, I posted it on for 2019. Oh, no, it's not a perfect leaf. Anyway, so collards is the traditional, or the way that the farmer told me to make them, but I do make it with kale. So the same recipe with kale, but this is the first collards of the year that I got. And then this is lacinato kale, or otherwise known as dinosaur kale or Tuscan kale. So I do the same thing with that. I like it so much, I don't even mind. That's the only recipe I use for kale and collards now. Now this one, I believe in my previous haul, I said they called it frizzy kale. I think it's actually called frilly kale. So obviously it's some kind of crazy hybrid. And then these cats love the carrot tops. Look, is she laying on the carrot top? Just made a bed out of it. That's Athena laying on the carrot tops. So that's the frilly kale. And then this one they called Purple Russian. But as far as I know, the last Purple Russian that I got, or Purple Russian in the past, wasn't as curly. I'm going to have to clean this camera. Hold on. Let me just clean this for a minute. Yes, that looks better. So this is the Purple Russian kale, but I don't remember the Purple Russian kale being so curly. So the farmer I saw one of the members, the farmer told her, yeah, like kale chips, perfect for kale chips. But I do like the other purple kale that's not so curly, but like I said, you get different varieties you get to try. So that's pretty cool. So I got 3 different kales and collards, which I'm going to make the same way all the time. The kale lasts pretty long. It's been washed. So I put it in a Ziploc with a paper towel, and it literally lasts over 2 weeks pretty much. But I got 3 different kinds plus collards, but that's how I'm going to make it. I love it with eggs. I actually made it with eggs and sweet potato, so like a hash. Delicious. Anyway, and then this is some kind of variety of green leaf lettuce. They actually had this mammoth green leaf lettuce, and it was just so big it wouldn't fit in a Ziploc, and I don't think I'd be able to eat it fast enough. And because green leaf tends to be tender, there's no way it was going to last long. So I took the small one, but I'm telling you, this green leaf was mammoth. So I took the small one, and I took a small red leaf. I actually still have arugula and a spring mix growing in my garden, so I didn't want to take one that was way too big and then I wouldn't be able to finish it. And then they actually had zucchini and yellow squash available, which I was really surprised for the beginning of June. This one, the lighter green squash, I don't even know what it's called. But she was calling these 8-ball squashes because they're obviously round. So I figured, you know what? It looks like a pumpkin. But when you slice it, because you would slice it straight across this way, they probably fit better on the grill when you're going to grill it. Whereas the long, thin way, they tend to fall through the grates. So I was like, you know what? Let me get this 8-ball one. They had the dark green one and they had the yellow. But this one was the biggest and I went for the light green. But they all taste the same inside. And then there's the lettuces. Beets, got beets again. I love making my juice with the beets. So I do beets and carrots and apple with ginger and lemon. Love it. And then this time I got the purple kohlrabi. Last time it was white kohlrabi. So this time purple kohlrabi. I actually sliced them thin. You eat them raw. I'm not sure if you cook them. But I ate them raw. I dipped them in hummus. So that was a really good snack. Excuse me, Apollo. Excuse me, I gotta get to the carrots. So now this was different. These are carrots. These have kind of like a shade of red of some sort. Some are orange. Oopsie. Some are orange and then some are a reddish color. Very, very interesting. And then these, I thought they were radishes. And she's like, nope, they're carrots. Let me try one. I was like, what? I've never seen a carrot like that. I'm telling you, every year they're coming out with some cool shit. Want to try it? Yep, tastes like a carrot. It's so cute. Itty bitty. I'm going to dip them in hummus. What else I got? Let me finish eating this one. Okay. Then, okay, I did the beets, the 2 carrots. Oh, and fennel. These are thin fennel with fennel. And I know these fronds, they call them fronds, to save them to make stock with it. I personally don't like fennel raw. Not a fan of black licorice taste. But when you slice these up and you roast them, or even pan cook them, they pan cook them and they come slightly translucent, almost like an onion, but they sweeten up and they lose that licorice flavor. When you roast them, again, Holy Quartet, or not even the Holy Quartet, the Holy Trinity, which is just olive oil, salt, and pepper. Then when they're finished roasting, you add Parmesan cheese. Oh my God, goes great with pork. Give that a try. I think I learned that from Ina Gardner, if I said that right, with a New York accent, Barefoot Contessa, who is from the Hamptons, Long Island, my girl. And then broccoli. And you know what? I actually really like the leaves of the broccoli. They're pretty tasty, almost like kale. Then the herb of the week is mint, which obviously you can make a mojito. I don't have white rum, but I love making mint tea. You just boil water and throw these in, let them steep, and it's actually really delicious. And it's even better on a hot day, and you cool it down and put it over ice with some stevia. Oh my God, such a refreshing, minty iced tea that actually feels even more cooling because of the mint flavor when it's on ice. So that's really good. And then cucumbers, I got one. We don't eat a lot of cucumbers, so I only took one. And then garlic scapes, love these things. You use them like regular garlic, just chop them up. You know, whatever you use garlic for, throw them in oil, make a garlic oil, throw them in dressings, you know, saute them to add your vegetables, whatever you use garlic for, delicious. Got more of those. And then these are the sprouts, not even the sprouts, these are considered the microgreens. So sprouts is when they sprout something. Microgreens you eat almost like a lettuce. I'm not sure what family those are from, whether they're, usually it's like radishes or something like that. It doesn't say, but I like throwing those on salads or putting them in sandwiches. And then, surprisingly, beginning of June, Tomatoes. Look at the cherry tomatoes, which I do have to plant in my backyard. But I had a couple on my way home in the car. They are so sweet. But I can believe they grew in a greenhouse. I think they said in the email they send me, I always get an email during the week before the CSA of what to expect at the share, and I believe these were from the greenhouse. And then these I purchased. So they're starting to get into the mushrooms. And one of these is, this is shiitake. Why is my phone so blurry? I gotta get a new camera. So these are shiitake. And it's like okay, these are separated. So these are the shiitake. Is it my eyes or is it the phone that's all blurry? Let me try it again. You know what? I need a new phone anyway. Upgrade. Anyway, so those are shiitake. And then these, I was like, you know what? I gotta try these. These are the lion's mane. When technology fails you, it just absolutely sucks. So I was like, oh, this is what like 4-sigmatic is always told. They feel weird. Oh my God, it's like cauliflower actually. These are lion's mane. Smells like a mushroom, looks like cauliflower. And I'm assuming I use it the same way. I know out of all those like medicinal mushrooms, I know out of all those medicinal mushrooms, I believe they say, you know, like you got chaga and reishi and cordyceps and lion's mane are like the top 4 as far as medicinal with that company 4-sigmatic. And they got a lot of products with those 4 mushrooms. Chaga obviously having cancer-fighting properties. Cordyceps, I believe, gives you energy. Reishi, I believe, is for like immunity. Lion's mane is supposed to be for like mental health and mental clarity. And I heard lion's mane is the most mildest when it comes to flavor. Chaga and reishi, and I'm not sure about cordyceps, but I hear that they're so much earthier and it's hard to eat them like plain, like a mushroom, and that's why they grind them up and put them in concoctions, especially like coffee where the taste would be masked. But they said out of all of them, those top 4, lion's mane is the most mild. And then shiitake, maitake, oyster mushrooms, they taste like regular mushrooms, almost like a portobello or a cremini. And then there you go, Paulo on the carrot tops. He must have chased Athena away. But this is CSA number 3. Now I got to come up with some dish to make to attach to this video. But I hope I inspired you to join your CSA, or at least to eat more vegetables, or to look for those unusual vegetables that you normally won't buy and give them a try. Because when you eat the color of the rainbow, you are healthy. Like an apple a day keeps the doctor away, eating the color of the rainbow keeps you healthy as well. I'll come up with some kind of rhyme for that one. But that is it. See you in the next video. Bye. So from this last CSA haul, I'm going to make some mint lavender tea. I don't use mint in a lot of stuff, but mint tea is so good. It's very good for your digestion. The peppermint leaf also can help with headaches. And it's good for your stomach too if you have an upset stomach. But it's especially the warm tea. But on a nice hot day, I love it cooled down and put on ice. And it's so, so, so refreshing and very light. So I'm boiling quite a bit of water. And I have this glass jar. It's like an old milk container that I kept. And so when it cools down, I'm going to actually put it in there. But I have a lavender plant growing out in my backyard. And so one day, because I also have mint back there. So one day when there was quite a bit of mint, I was like, oh, let me make mint tea. But I also saw I had some lavender buds on my lavender plant. So I actually cut them off and I threw that in the hot water with the mint. And when it was cooled down, like I said, over ice, and then I put stevia in it, It was so good. You tasted the lavender. And lavender, they say, is also, mint's strong, but lavender is also strong. So you don't need as much lavender as you do mint. When you add lavender to a tea or dish, a little goes a long way because it is a strong taste. So the amount of buds that I had actually were a good amount. And you could taste the lavender, but it wasn't overpowering. So I actually went and bought lavender buds by bulk. They smell so nice. So I'm waiting for my water to boil, which is starting to boil. And then I'm just going to turn it off. And then I'm going to add, I got to take off this rubber band. But I'm going to add the mint leaves and just let them steep. And then I'm going to put maybe 1 or 2 tablespoons of the lavender. And then what's really good about tea is that amount of water is not going to fill up my whole jug. So I'm going to boil more water after that, but reuse what's in there. So it really gets all of the essential oils out and the flavor. You can actually steep tea more than once. So I'm actually going to do that to get 2 pots full, so it fills that up. But and then of course I can't put it in the refrigerator until it cools down. But it is such a good drink. You really got to try it. Okay, so I got the rubber band off because I don't need rubber band in my tea. And you just stick it in there. And unlike like green tea, I believe you're only supposed to steep for like 2 to 3 minutes because then it starts to get bitter. But herbal tea, you can leave 7, 10 minutes. Leave it in the whole time. I guess it doesn't get a bitter taste to it. So I'm just going to leave that in there. Like I said, I'm going to use it again for a second batch. God, it's so good. They say mint tea is great after a meal. And then here's my lavender. It's about 2 tablespoons. Just going to pour that in. I have a metal like, oops. Ooh, sorry. I want to push that down with a spoon, but I'm right-handed. All right. I was able to reach the forks. So, what was I saying? I know in certain countries they use mint tea after a meal, so it aids in digestion. I believe like Persia and stuff like that. And lavender is, if anyone knows anything about lavender essential oils, which are becoming so popular, lavender is very relaxing and soothing too. And lavender is antimicrobial and antibacterial. So it's actually really also very good as aiding in digestion and just relaxing you all over. And then mint helps with headaches. And it's an antispasmodic too, so when you do have an upset stomach, it really helps relax your stomach and aids in digestion. I know Persia, I'm not sure if there's other countries that use mint tea after meals, but I'm just going to leave that there. Oh, I was talking about the metal strainer. Yes, so I have a metal mesh, strainer that I'm going to remove the leaves, but I'm going to save them. And then add them back to the pot, boil some more water, and do a second run. All right? So it's been about 10 minutes that it's been in here. So I am going to strain it. There is my metal mesh colander on my glass bowl that has a spout so I can pour it easily into that jug. Apollo's still laying on the carrot tops. He's sleeping. And then doing it left-handed. It's still pretty hot. But I'm going to save the mint and the lavender. I'll rinse that out. And then do another batch. And then pour it in the glass container. And when that's cool, I'll stick it in the refrigerator so tomorrow I can enjoy some nice iced mint tea. So there you go. I filled it up. My lavender mint. You know what? Let me leave the top off because it's still warm. Lavender mint tea, which would be iced tea when I put it over ice. But I'm going to let it cool down, put it in the refrigerator. It's so good. And then I actually have some extra. So this one cooled down quite a bit. So I'm actually going to throw that on ice and drink it now that I had dinner. So I hope you like that recipe. Now you know other things to do with mint. Have a great evening. Bye. Oops.